about praying for 27 minutes. Is that a set prayer that you have, or is that your own coming from with you inside? So it could be 27, 35, 2 hours?
Very good question. There are 5 structured prayers, and on top of that, we can do other things. We don't call them prayers per se. We call them supplications, invocations, remembrance, reflections. We can do as long as we want. But the 5 structured prayers are 27 minutes, and they are made of units. The unit is like this. I face the direction of Mecca, and I say, God is the ultimate supreme. I raise my hands like this. Now, by raising my hands, symbolically, as if I'm lifting the veil that is between me and God while I'm doing my daily chores, and now I'm standing like this, or some Muslims stand like this, and then I read the opening first chapter of the Quran called the Fatiha, which reads like this. All the time I read it, and it reads like this: in the name of God. I say it in the Islamic language, which happened to be Arabic. Nothing is sacred about Arabic other than it happened to be the language of revelation. So we call it Islamic language. So we say it in the Islamic language, but I'll tell you the translation. It means, in the name of God, the all-merciful, the compassionate. All praise is due to God, Lord of all beings, the all-merciful, the compassionate, Master of the day of judgment. You alone we worship, and from you alone we seek help. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those whom you have given your bounties, not the path of those who deserve your chastisement, and neither those who have gone astray. And then I choose a short passage from the Quran, and I read it. Then I say, God is the ultimate supreme, but I say it in Arabic. I say, Allahu Akbar. And I move into the kneeling position, and I say, praise be to God, the great. Then I stand up and I say, God heard my invocation. And then I say, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, or ultimate supreme. And I go down into the prostration position, and I say, praise be to God, the ultimate supreme, or the most high. And I say it 3 times. Then I sit while I'm in this position. Then I repeat my prostration and I say the same thing. Praise be to God, the ultimate supreme. Then I stand up and I repeat. So 1 unit is what I mentioned. At dawn, I do 2 of those units. At noontime, I do 4. At middle afternoon, I do 4. At sunset, which is the next prayer coming now, I do 3. At night, which is an hour and a half after sunset, I do 4. So if you add all 17 together, that's the 27 minutes. Yes?
I assume that you've made the trek to Mecca?
Yes.
Can you tell us what that's like?
It's a feeling where you feel detached from your physical reality by feeling a different, first of all, physical surrounding, whereby hundreds, it could be millions of people, all dressed the same, all have the same purpose, all engaged in the same prayers, all are coming for the same thing. So never in one's life this feeling is established unless you are there. Imagine, these, by the way, are people, and they are all making a circle around the queue, all of them, all of that. Now, and they are all praying behind one prayer leader called Imam. And this feeling that you are doing the prayer I just mentioned together, millions of people focused on getting connected with God, then trying to do all the different rituals. By the way, we circumambulate the cube, or we orbit the cube 7 times because it is a scientific fact that everything in this universe, from the atom to the biggest galaxy, has a pattern that is the same. Something small is orbiting something bigger. The small electron around the bigger nucleus, and the small atom around the bigger center of molecules, and the small moon around the bigger Earth, and the small Earth around the bigger sun, and the small solar system around the center of the bigger galaxy, and our galaxy around the center of the 7 galaxies that are yet known to us now. There may be more. Everything is orbiting. Everything is orbiting. So God invites us once before we exit on the highway of life towards God, says, come here. Now you are going to experience a mini day of judgment. And that feeling that we are there on a mini day of judgment, you know, that people are shoulder by shoulder. You are in the midst of a human ocean. That feeling, I cannot really describe it by words. So when we are orbiting with endurance. It is not just you're walking. So you feel actually those who are looking from this level on those who are orbiting around the Kaaba at the ground floor, they basically see a galaxy in motion. You don't see the people moving. You just see the entire thing just going around the center, being the Kaaba. And then we, after that, go from this side to that side, and this is the place where Hagar went to look for water because her son Ishmael was brought by Abraham to this land before there was anything in that area, and she wanted to look for water. And she moved and moved. So we emulate her motions so that we feel we are part of history. We are part of everything. So this is something, the closest I can describe it is by the words that you just heard.